Damn, what the hell? Esau is fighting very smart. He's setting up people versus one another by doing the so-called couple interracial thing, but it's all a very, very, we are not ignorant to Satan's devices, but the majority of the people are just gonna, they're gonna fall for it because that's just what's happening. That's how the most I set it up. But the point of me talking all that is to show you that the same thing is happening with Jacob. Sorry, the same thing that happened with Jacob with Isaiah 34, where it was the elites that actually was screwing over the average Jacob descendant. Not that they was good or something like that, but it was the elites. They was doing it. They was pushing it forward. Well, that's the same thing that Esau is doing right now. The elites of Esau are the ones that are actually causing all the harm that is being done onto the midst of onto the rest of the Edomites in the midst of them. But anyway, let me go on. Let him go on. Sorry, I should say.
The second thing we're not going to do is believe what the media tells us. No matter what, they're going to lie. We will be conducting our own investigation. The government clearly does not work for us anymore, so there is absolutely zero reason to accept anything they say is legitimate. Yeah. It is a fact that Charlie Kirk started to speak out against Israel before he was murdered. It is a fact that public support for Israel was dwindling, and he, as their last bastion, their top goy, if you will.
Anyway, you heard what I wanted you to hear, but I'm going to put the link in the description box so you can hear it further. The point is that he was starting to talk against them. Why? Because he had a whole bulk of the Edomites listening to him. And then, everybody's looking at his every move, hanging on his lips, his words. And then what he did was he took their head and he tilted it a little bit toward the other side, like, that's the target. They're doing it. And, but yeah. JFK. Just like I said about JFK, a lot of people don't know he actually was against them elites. Not just, well, a lot of people do know that he was against them, but they don't know about the executive order 11110. They don't know about that one. But he signed it. Then he died. He wasn't just it wasn't just the speech about, it was just a little bit deeper. He did this speech about secret society and all these type of things. That got him smoked too. But the order that he put out, that one got him really. They was like, ain't coming back from this one. You can't say sorry. You done screwed our money over. Fuck that. We gonna kill you or replace you. That's the same thing that they finna do with Captain Kirk. He got beamed up. Beam me up, Scotty. Huh. He got zapped. Fuck him. Anyway, Revelation 12:12. Therefore, the devil is come. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Daniel chapter 2, verse 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king, Nebuchadnezzar. Thou, O king, art the king of kings. So he was the king of kings at that time. And then later on, you had Cyrus being basically the king of kings, because Cyrus was given the power to basically stomp on every other. He stomped on him. He stomped on he stomped on the king of Babylon. Cyrus stomped on him. But he was the stomper at that time. He was stomping people. The Most High puts kings in every period of time. He puts them as the king of all the other kings. For example, Artaxerxes, which is Artaxerxes, Ahasuerus also, is the same thing. He was actually basically at that time in 1 Ezra chapter 4, he was the king of all the other kings. And it's mentioned that he's not called king of kings, but it's mentioned that he's the king of all the other kings, because all the other kings called him my lord. So what does that make you? There are many lords and there are many idols, but there's only one power, Yahweh, and only one master, Yahweh Shai. Therefore, be not called master by many, by any actually, because you have one master, Yahweh Shai, and you have one father, Yahweh. But that doesn't count for your biological father. Because I know that in the 90s, you didn't have Jakes calling their father dad. That's some dumb shit, man. Dad, that don't make no sense, man. He was called father or mother. I don't know what the hell they're doing nowadays. And back in the 90s, you didn't hear Jacob descendants say, hey, bro. Hey, what's up, bro? You didn't hear that shit, man. It was Esau saying it. So when it started to change, Jacob started to say it too. I'm looking at them like, this is Judges chapter 2. No, 3 and 1. They don't know the many wars of Canaan. Let me get that real quick. They don't know. Judges 3. Wait, misspelled it. Judges 3 and 1. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left to prove Israel by them. So the Most High was testing them, the Jacob descendants. Even as many of Jacob as had not known all the wars of Canaan. So let me read it again. I said Jacob, but it says Israel. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generation of the children of Israel might know to teach them war. At the least, such as before knew nothing thereof. So that's why you see a lot of these clown-ass Jakes. I saw a lot of these clown-ass Jakes was actually really horrified about Captain Kirk being beamed up. I was looking at them like, damn, that's Judges chapter 3 right there. They have no idea who their enemy is. This Edomite that I just showed you, he also says the other Edomites, they don't know their enemy. He's talking about Amalek. Just like how actually the rich and the powerful of Jacob were actually the enemies of the average Jacob descendants. And the poor Jacob descendants, the Most High checked the shit out of them because he enslaved them, and then he made the poor Israelites, he just set them free in their own land by the king, Nebuchadnezzar, and there was a captain under him, which is mentioned in 2 Kings 25. The poor of the land that they actually wanted to not let go, those are the ones that the Most High let go, and then the rich Jacob descendants, the powerful ones, the leaders and stuff like that, he slapped them feathers of iron upon them. And there you have it right there. Until this day, we still have that same type of mentality. You got the rich of Jacob, which is these so-called celebrities. They're bullshitting with the. They do a lot of pyramid schemes. They do a lot of fuckery, man. They do a lot of screwing around with the rest of the Jacob descendants, man. They think they're better than them. And the Most High is gonna get you, man. You're gonna be the first ones in the concentration camps, thinking that you're part of the Edomites. You think you're part of them. You're not. But you're gonna find out. Just like the house Negroes, right? Think about it. What has the house Negro done for all the centuries that they've been house Negroes? What did they do? You didn't do shit. All you did was anger your own. Some of you are tear babies, so I don't give a shit about that. But all you did was basically anger your own. And you didn't achieve anything, because at the end they're gonna shit on you. Just like Jason in the book of Maccabees, he did all these great things against the Jacob descendants, and what happened to him later? He ran to his brother, the Lacedaemonians, which are the brothers of Judites. So those are Israelites, but he ran to them, and then he died alone. Real funny too. After all the things that he did against the Jacob descendants, he actually basically got chased around by the same heathen nations that he was helping destroy Jacob. So after you don't destroy Jacob, you're next. But I'm not here to be reasoning with no cupbearer of Esau. You want some drink, sir? Can I pour it real good, sir? I'm not here to reason with a cupbearer. Actually, whatever. Anyway, so let me go back to Daniel. Daniel 12 and 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation before the king. Thou, king, art king of kings. For the power of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. Let me remove this. I actually could stand over there right now, actually. Yeah. Well, might as well just stay here because finish this off and then, you know, yeah, it's right. So let me go on. So it says right here. Oh man, I gotta call you later. Oh shit, wait. Let me message this. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Hey, wait. Split. I forgot to talk Dutch. But anyway. So let me go back to where I was, right? Daniel chapter 2, verse 37. Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the power of heaven had given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And he didn't acknowledge that the Most High is the one that gave him the power. So the Most High chin-checked him in Daniel 4, and then he knew, okay, that's the Lord. He does all things. Daniel 4 explains that. But he was against him. And the Most High liked him, man. The Most High made Babylon a golden cup in his hand. And the modern day Babylon, the Most High don't like him, but he uses him to basically get the greedy Jacob descendants to follow. You know what I had back in the days, right? I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean with the greedy niggas. Let them go and get destroyed. That's why he made Esau this great guy. He's a golden cup in his hand. So you had these type of Jacob descendants, right? They didn't have no money of their own. So what did they do? They used to hang around dudes that got money. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that were doing filthy shit and all that type of stuff, getting their money on a filthy type way, and they would hang around them. But I'm gonna give you an example. Now I was hanging around them too, but not like that. I saw them, but I wasn't hanging around with the demonic motherfuckers. But they, you know what the thing is? Friends of friends bring, how's it? Friends of friends. Huh? Well, your friend might bring friends, but he might not be your friend. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Anyway, and then you see them with that filthy money, and then you see the other guys that you do know start kissing ass and stuff like that. Well, that's actually, and then bring them into a destructive type of mannerisms. And then now, well, I know a few of them, they started to follow after these dudes, and now they smoke shit. When I say smoke shit, they put some stuff up in their shit, and then they smoke it. But that's because you was hanging around him, and he got that filthy money. And therefore, they could just buy dope, put it in the weed and all that. You were hanging around them, right? Well, that's what you get. You deserve that shit. So the Most High, he made Babylon a golden cup in his hand. That's America right now. Not the ancient Babylon, but the new one. This one. He made Babylon a golden cup, so everybody basically want to go there and sell their souls. That's what they want. They want to drink out of that cup too. They want to feast around with Esau. They want to turn into a sandwich like little baby boy. You know what I'm saying? He turned into a caucus sandwich. In the middle you had him, and then you had two Edomites flattening him, on a flat line type thing. Your soul died that very same day they took that picture. Well, actually, not because they took the picture. Your soul died because you did that. Screw the picture. Because if we didn't see the picture, you're still dead. But we saw it, now we can confirm you a dead dude. He that wandereth out of the way of understanding is dead. The man that wandereth out of the congregation of he doesn't remain in the congregation of the living because he's dead from the neck up. Right, and women that live in pleasure, they're dead. Spiritually, they're dead too. Anyway, let me finish it. 38, Daniel 2:38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven had he given into thine hand, and had made thee ruler over all. Thou art this head of gold. So the beast of the field, the beast of the field is the world. Matthew 13 explains that. But the beast of the world are the heathen nations, and the fowl of heaven are the heathen nations too, especially the ones that are living safe. Because the people that are here upon the ground right now, the rulers and stuff like that, they're the beasts because they're savages and stuff like that, right? The beasts of the field. They have savage laws and stuff like that, uplifting a sodomite and call you a phobia, whatever. If you don't even want to hang around, they call you afraid. That's what they're calling it. But these are beasts. And then the other one, are an how do you call that thing? Are the birds. The birds are safe. For example, in certain countries, like in India, for example, the women can't walk free on the street like that because they're gonna get harassed. But here they could just walk free. Why? Because they're not gonna get harassed like how they would be harassed in certain type of countries. In certain type of countries, you can't do that. As a woman walking alone at night and all that type of stuff, you can't do that. You know, I saw many videos, man, where females were live streaming, and then sometimes, lucky for her, some guy came and helped her, man. She was being harassed, many of them being harassed in different type of countries outside of West Europe, even in East Europe. You know, it's kind of dangerous for them and stuff like that. But where the Edomites are, this is baby Babylon. So where the Edomites are, where they have a little bit of an type of power, because them Dutch people are cool as shit. That's why they're fucking rich. If you check out the history of the Dutch, you're gonna see like, yeah, damn, these motherfuckers ain't playing. Anyway, so a lot of women are here safe. They're like birds in the trees. They're doing good. Even their elites also, they're like birds in the trees. They're doing good and stuff like that. And in the Arabian countries, those women can't be walking around on the street late at night dressed like a skink. India, definitely, you ain't doing that. Especially in certain areas, the majority of the areas, you ain't doing that shit. Yeah, you ain't doing that shit. So here they're safe, because how is a bird safe? A bird is not safe on the ground sleeping. He's gonna get eaten. He's safe in the tree. And that tree is talking about Nebuchadnezzar. He's that tree. So that tree nowadays is Esau. Every nation on the planet Earth comes to his lands, because in his lands they could make money, they could get jobs and stuff like that. They have security, they have freedom, because in certain countries you don't have that freedom that you have here, especially for the females and stuff like that, and them dudes too. But anyway, yeah, so that freedom, they don't have that there. So he is that tree. He was that tree, Nebuchadnezzar. But nowadays, Esau is that great tree that ruled over all. Stretch it out, and the shadow thereof is very good, because, like I just explained, the shadow of the tree of India, that's not good. It's bare, the sun beating up on it. You can't get shade in the tree of India, because that tree is not decked out. It's not protective. It doesn't spread its wings to make you feel the shade. Like I'm in the shade right now, which is by coincidence. I'm in the shade right now from this big tree over here and stuff like that. But you don't have that in certain countries. The majority of the countries on the planet Earth, you don't have that. That's why a lot of people flee to England and stuff like that. If you look at England, you're gonna see a lot of people from Pakistan, people from Iran, people from Syria, people from Assyria. You're gonna see those people in those lands. And Chinese people in that land too, Japanese people and stuff like that. And then ask yourself, like, what are you doing here? Yeah, the same thing. They're here for the comfort, the safety. That's because in Daniel 2 and also Daniel 4, it explains to you that all the beasts of the field came to the tree and they felt safe because they had food, all that there. And the beasts of the field are these people. Yeah, going on. So it says right here, Daniel chapter 2, Daniel chapter 2 verse 39. But Nebuchadnezzar is the head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth, which already passed away. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. This is the kingdom. Well, wait, I'm gonna get to it. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that break in pieces all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. That's the what was it? Greek, Roman. This is the Roman Empire. No, you had the Persian, right? Persian, Greek, Roman, right. So it says right here, 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay and part of iron. This is the part that I want. The kingdom shall be divided. Let me color this. Yeah, 41. Let me read 41 again. So Daniel's 2 and 41. It says, And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron, and the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. That's what's happening right now. That's the left and that's the right. They're partially strong. Who is the strong one? The ones that are the racist one. They actually are together, the Edomites, because they want to make an all-white town. They want to have their economy glowing and blowing up. But it's going to blow up like the World Trade Center, by the way. But they want to actually have it booming and all that type of stuff, which is going to be, they're going to be strong with it. But they're going to be partially weak because you got these purple-haired, neon-colored hair type of people fighting against them. And with that paparoonie of Captain Kirk, you know, you're going to have it to where now a lot of these other Edomites that are not really savvy concerning who the enemy is, he said it. He said, the Edomite said, a lot of you don't even know who the enemy is. Because they steady on Jake. Jake is, I'm your enemy too. But I'm not doing anything. If I get that power, you're going to figure it out. Lord willing. You're going to see. Because Joshua 10 and 13, it says that the Most High will give me, well, if I get that power, and then I'll talk about me. He will give his elect the ability to avenge themselves. I can't wait. I see a lot of things that irritate me. We're going to see. Verse 42. But anyway, he said, a lot of you don't know your enemies, man. But he knows. He knows. But the point is that they're not strong together. And what Esau did with the assassination, well, he just got popped. With the smoke arena of Captain Kirk is he set them up against each other now. Now, a lot of these, just listen, let me give you an example. A big bulk of the Edomites, they really, until this day, they believe that 9/11 was done by Bin Laden. But you have a other bulk, a smaller part of the Edomites that know, like, no, they did it to do things. Okay, well, that's exactly what's happening right now. You have a lot of the Edomites on the so-called right. You have a lot of them. They think like, no, it's actually the Amalekites did it. But a bigger bulk of them, they're going to fight the left. You know, the pink-haired dudes. The pink hair, green hair. By the way, if you see somebody here in the Netherlands with pink hair or green hair, they're not like that. they're milder. Because the Most High ain't putting that true demonic spirit on them. Or I should say, he's not letting loose that true demonic spirit on them. They're devils too. But compared to America, they're not that fucked up. I'm not talking good for them. I'm telling you that. I'm just comparing them. I'm not on nobody's side, though, man. Not on nobody's side. I can't wait to get that sort of woman let loose here in the Netherlands. So it says right here, verse 42. It says, and the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. That's exactly what's happening with them right now. They're partially strong and partially broken. That's exactly what's happening right now. They're fighting amongst each other, smoking each other. But it was the government. I already know. But you have the big bulk of the Edomites. They don't know, man. And if you tell them, they wouldn't believe it anyway. They would say, you're a conspiracist. So they don't know what the fuck is going on. So that's funny. That's funny in itself. I'll read 44 and 45 too. Daniel 2 and 44. In the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. That's the kingdom that's coming. And the kingdom shall not be left to another people. Nobody else is going to rule by our sides. Just like how you had in Ezra chapter 4, you had it to where only the Jacob descendants were actually allowed to build that temple, which was the second temple when we came out of captivity with Zerubbabel. The third temple is never built. It's being, Lord willing, is being built right now. Well, it's already being built, but Lord willing, you know, I'm adding to it. But that's another thing. But the point is, it's being built right now, right, in the spirit. That's the point. Starting with the elder apostles on down. That's I didn't even have to mention that, but that should be self-explanatory. And don't forget where you learned from. Now, going on, it says right here. Let me read it again. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, that's the chariot, 2 Esdras 2, without hand, and it break in pieces, the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, which is these different kingdoms. And how did the Most High break in pieces those different kingdoms? He broke in pieces the golden head by the king of, what was it again? It was Cyrus, the Persian. The Persian did that. He broke in pieces the head of Babylon. Because he came and freed us from them. But I think Nebuchadnezzar was already dead. No? Damn. I need to go read the order again. But the point is, they came and the Heavenly Father put the spirit on the king, and he went to go actually destroy Babylon. But Babylon was destroyed and built up often and stuff like that, because you had the Chaldeans being rulers over Babylon, then you had another Shemite being rulers over Babylon, and you had the Cushites being rulers over Babylon too, which is the word Cushan. He was the king. And also Judges chapter 3, that was a Cushite also. He was the king of Mesopotamia at that time. So there were Babylon, Mesopotamia, the whole region. But that shows you that there were different kings in different eras at that time. But the Most High basically destroyed the head of gold, which is Nebuchadnezzar, by sending a kingdom against them. And then he destroyed the Greeks by sending the Persian Empire, sorry. And then sending the Persians, and then the Persian Empire got destroyed by the Greeks, and then the Greeks got destroyed by the Romans. The Most High keeps on sending kings, right? Isaiah chapter 10 explains that to you also, and Psalm 17, he sends them. Zechariah 14 explains that too. Deuteronomy 28 explains that too. The Most High said, I will send them with another countenance and stuff like that, with another faces, rough countenance, and I will send them against you if you break my laws. And we did. So yeah, right. So Isaiah 2 and 45, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain with hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. And by the way, it is Yahweh Shai and the angels and stuff like that will come into the mind of the kings to make them go to war in order for them to break that temple down, or the kingdom down. It's the Most High. And you can read about that in the book of 1 Kings chapter 22, where you see that the angels come in your head and make you fight. They're the ones that make you fight. So that stone is Yahweh Shai. He did it. And in the physical form, nowadays, I'm going to give you another example, a breakdown for this explanation for this verse. Nowadays, all these kingdoms are actually right here, right now. All these kingdoms, all these idols, collectively into one, and they are all the temples, all the kingdoms. They are the head of the head of gold. They are the middle of silver. They are the loins of brass. They are the legs of iron, which is physically where we're in right now. But those other kingdoms, they are spiritually those kingdoms too, because they follow after their ways. For example, the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah, they follow after them. So that is not even part of the statue, but they grab that one also, because Esau is that melting pot upon the planet Earth. That's why you see different nations here too. He heapeth unto himself all nations, because if you look at the history, never was this done in the history of history itself. Was it done like it is right now? But wait, I'm gonna go back up on it. they did do it, but not at this scale. Meaning, back in the days, you didn't look. Back in the days, you had every nation on the planet Earth. They flocked to Nebuchadnezzar. But now it is easier because the Most High said, "Many shall go to and fro, and travel. Very knowledge shall increase." You can now go from from Japan or Australia. You can go to America real fast, like a 24 hours or something like that. Back in the days, you couldn't do that. So that's why I'm saying that now the traveling is actually bigger than it used to be before, because there's no new thing under the sun. There was always people coming from the ends of the world going to the other ends of the world and stuff like that. People always did that, but not in this great type of bulk, not in these type of bulks. You know, you have millions of people traveling every year, man. Millions, hundreds of millions traveling every year, going to places that they would not be able to be visiting, because nowadays they got a car. If you go from here, Amsterdam to Rotterdam, for example, if you had to walk, it would take you a few days, depending on what type of person you are. Are you strong? Are you fast? Are you with people? Stuff like that. You're gonna have to stop and rest your feet because it's gonna hurt and all that type of stuff. You're gonna have to go out there and actually hunt for yourself too while traveling, because there ain't no stores. So you need to do that, or you need to walk and then hope you would see a town, and then you would sleep there, or you would get food there and stuff like that, or you would just go out there fishing if you was to walk next to a river or something like that. But or you had a horse, which would be faster, but still you need stuff. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays you don't even need drink. You could just take the train and you'd be there in an hour. Oh, that's fast compared to walking or taking a horse. And you got to understand, there ain't no roads like that. So you're gonna have to go zigzag and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go straight forward anymore, because there's trees, there's forest. You can't do that. So it's gonna take long. So that's why I mean, like, nowadays is not compared to they did it before, but not compared to the scale of nowadays, because the scale of nowadays is much bigger. So anyway, everybody coming to he gathered upon them all nations and stuff like that. That's why I said never before. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it was done before, because Nebuchadnezzar did it, and the Cush, Nimrod, did it too. He gathered to himself all nations. Nimrod did it too, and the Most High broke that down because he's not down with that. But yeah, so basically Esau is the only one in this generation that can fly people from another, continent and stuff like that, make it real snappy. But that's the point. Anyway, so it says right here, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, which is that kingdom, the brass, which is that kingdom, the clay, which is the kingdom that we are in right now, clay and iron, the silver, he broke that down, that kingdom, and the gold, he broke that down too, that same stone. And it's the Most High that did it, but it's the angels that come up in your mind and make them fight one another. Like, you know what? I think that golden head, I think his time is due. He shall not pass the boundaries that the Most High set for him. Go kill him. And then when your time came, the Most High was like, "Hey, Brass, come over here." "Yeah, yes, Lord." Go get him. "Oh, okay, thank you." And then he went to go smoke him. And then when the Brass, his boundaries was set, he can't pass that one. And the Most High was like, "Hey, Iron Boy, come here. Yes, Lord." Go get him. Okay. And then he went to go chop him over there. And now the iron and clay, which is the other part of the Roman Empire, they're fighting against each other too. They're fighting from within. They're fighting against Russia and China and all that. So it's wars all over the place. You got proxy wars, sneaky little wars from behind, which a lot of people can't see. Just like with the secret wars that they're doing, committing against Jacob by making you go get that girl. You look good, right? You don't think about your descendants and what's going to happen to them, It might look cute and all that type of stuff, but eventually, it's going to actually be a bad deal for you, well, for your descendants, because a lot of these Jacob descendants that made babies and stuff like that, boy, your descendants would despise the shit out of you. Look at that dog ass, but okay, I don't come from him. I came from Esau, So It might be even you. It might be you that came back and spit on yourself. Anyway, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. So it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So what's happening right now? Sedition among men, which is slowly but surely, because all the lovers of Captain Kirk, they're gonna get roused up, man. These actions. See, Amalek, they think that the actions is gonna actually suit them. For a small season, it's going to suit them, because you're gonna have a big bulk of the Edomites. They're gonna fight against the left. They're gonna fight against each other. They're gonna fight against the left. But once that time comes, the other part of the Edomites that know, like, no, Captain Kirk, he switched sides and started to talk more about Amalek, because he geared their head toward them. He tilted it a little bit. I saw a few things that he said. I was like, that's gonna get you in trouble. And it did. It did get him in trouble, because he was talking about how you call this guy, Epstein, that he was an agent of Amalek, man. He said it. I was like, damn, you said that? I looked at it, I was like, damn, he did say that. Well, he's gonna be in trouble, and he's dead. So that shows you that once you eat out of Amalek's hand like a little bird, you think you're safe. You know, he put his hand, and then the bird come in and eat, but you're stronger than you can squash that bird. That's exactly what happened to him, because he thought he was safe. Well, at the end, he wasn't safe, because I'm gonna show you that tweet that the guy did on 13 August 2025. He tweeted it out. So these people already know, man. You know, they're already, and I saved that tweet. I got it. So that's why I'm gonna put it out there. Everybody saw it. I got it from just walking on the internet, surfing the internet, like Silver Surfer. I was just surfing, and then I saw it. I was like, damn, I'm gonna put that in a video, you know. But I don't even care about this dude, man. I just mention it because it's prophecy in the making. Well, I see it geared up toward it. It's already in the making without me seeing it anyway. But if I see it, y'all let this out, go out there and give them warning from me, whether they hear or whether they forbid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you listen to me or not. It's said, and therefore, you know, you always have a Jacob descendant that's going to listen. And don't just be on YouTube. You need to, well, you not need to be. You can do what you think is best. But me personally, I'm not only on YouTube. And then you're going to start to see, like, if you go on, for example, if you go on all these other platforms and you type my name, even if you misspell it, you find it. But if you type my name, if you misspell it, sometimes you type it correctly. You're not gonna find it on YouTube. I'm like, okay. Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. So it says right here, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Don't be ignorant. Just know that, hey, he's doing trickily things, because he's fighting proxy wars. He's fighting mental proxy wars, spiritual proxy wars. He's fighting all type of fights, man. He's gonna get you with that lusting girl and stuff like that. Make them dress like hoes and be like, see, they like us. Go ahead. Go ahead, nigga. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. You're right. You're right. Some of them look good and stuff like that. You're looking at it, you be like, I'd rather have you in captivity. Right about now, nah, man. Mine's gonna be. I'm gonna be focused on you. I don't want to do that shit. I don't even want to do that shit with Jake. Cause no. My mind is. I'm at fucking war, boy. I'm always at war. But the last few days, something happened, man. I was like, this is real. It was war against me in my head. I was like, what the fuck? Normally, I'm at war with everybody. Everything that walks, I'm at war with you. Not all the time. Not all the time. I'm definitely at war. That's why I got this name, right? He didn't even know me. Never saw me. He gave me a name. And then I lost that name. And then 10 years later, I was cleaning up my room. Well, I was reorganizing it, sorry. You might think cleaning up, you know. That's not what I mean. That's what I mean too, but it's not like 10 years took me or something. But I was reorganizing my room, taking up papers and stuff like that. And then I took up some from 2007. And I did this in 2016 or something like that. Almost 10 years. Almost 10 years later. Almost 10 years later. Crazy. 9 years or something like that. And then I found a piece of paper and then I saw a name and I was like, what the fuck? That's the name that I got for myself. But that name was given unto me. I forgot it, man. I am forgetful. I'll tell you the truth. Get you. So when I read that name, I was like, man, I went and found that name myself without knowing that he named me this name. I was like, whoa, wow, that's crazy. So that is my name, War. Fuck that shit. That shit is dope. That shit, that shit had me like, wow, that's crazy. How I wrote this out until this day, I have this paper. You know, damn, it's crazy. But I had this paper since 2007, and I think 2016 or something like that. I found that. Oh, that was crazy. So, but anyway, this time I was at war in my mind, man. Shit. And then Yahweh Ratasa did some, you know, and then it calmed down. If you call me a witch, your mama's a hoe. Because, for example, I bought me some gems and shit like that, right? Because I see them witches got gems too. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I know exactly what I'm doing. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and 1 Corinthians chapter 10 justifies me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Heavenly Father willing. That if you're around me and you think I'm doing that, it's not 100% actually my fault. It could be. But I'm going to give you an example of a fact. Back in the days, you could get killed just like that. But nowadays, you got a mouth to ask. And you got mercy. So it's not like you finna get killed just because you saw me do this and stuff like that. Next day when you do it, you finna get killed too. But there's always a place of repentance. So if you thought I was doing that, and then you start doing that shit, what you thought I was doing, whatsoever it is, man. Whatsoever it is. You saw me buy a gemstone or something like that. I had this for fucking 10 years, more than 10 years I had this, man. So it's nothing new. This is new. This is new. Another one too. But anyway, I got that. And then Yahweh wrote this out. I don't know, it kind of calmed down. I was like, what the fuck? And then I put them away and stuff like that. And I was looking at myself like, hey, so what? I need this? I don't need this. And then, but my thing is this. I already, before I went into the store, I already thought with my head like, just like with the Day of Atonement, it's the same thing. That day is not going to save you. That individual, that's not going to save you. The faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is going to save you. Just like Matthew 10. Just like Matthew 10. Just like Matthew 10. It's the same thing. I'm going to read this and I'm going to give you an example about the Day of Atonement and also about the gemstones, right? Matthew 10, chapter 10, verse 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth him, he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. So, read it again. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. So if the prophet's name is Isaiah, and you accept him as Isaiah, you're going to get Isaiah's reward. Now it says here, and he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall get a righteous man's reward. So if his name is Jeremiah, normally I say Michael Jackson. Jack is actually Jacob. Did you know that? Jacko is Jacob. Let me see if I can find it for you. Now if you go to Wikipedia, right? Here, Wikipedia, and you look for the word Jacko with an O, literally. They used to call him Jacko. They was calling him what's it? They was calling him What's Michael again? He liked the Most High. Jacob. That's what you call Michael when you call him Wacko Jacko. Yeah. Oh, hey. Mhm. You have Jacob, which is Jacob, but you have another one that says Jacko, as in Wacko Jacko. They said that. It says Cobus. Anyway, I'll put the link in the description box, and then you can check it out for yourself. Jacko, and it says Jacko. Yeah. It's something right here, man. I can't fucking find it. Anyway, so that's the same thing with this truth. So, what I mean, why I pulled Matthew chapter 10, verse 41, and verse 42. No, 40 and 41. In 41, it explains to you that if you accept the prophet in the name of himself, then you will receive the prophet's reward. But what do you actually do? You believe. Let me read it in 40. He that receiveth you, receiveth me, and he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me. So when you receive him, you receive Yahushua, and therefore, when you use gems, you receive. You know the Most High made it. That's the one that you put your faith in. So all the substance made upon planet Earth, if you use it in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Now somebody else might think that you're doing some kind of witchcraft. You're looking at them like, this guy doesn't understand. And me, I'm too angry to explain it to you because I'm getting angrier because you don't know. And that's what I'm telling you, I'm at war. I'm fucking war. In my head, I'm fucking war. So, but this week, fucking war against myself in my head. I was like, whoa, what's going on? I thought the most I was sending them demons. I know he was. I was like, hey, never had this. I did have it before, but this one was really like, wow. I was angry. Fuck this shit. How could you let this happen to me? But I know better. I know better. Lord willing, of course, I know better. But I can understand how other people just bug the fuck out, man. I look at them like, I know what you feel. So I know a lot. Y'all brothers, I know a lot of things now. I know how it feel to be deaf. I know how it feel to go through a lot of things and stuff like that. I know how it feel to not be able to walk a little bit. It's fucked up. I know a lot of things, man. I went through, you know what I'm saying? I think Most High gave me a taste of a few things so that Yahweh I can help another, because I actually know what you're going through. Like, okay. So I know, how to explain it or how to help them and stuff like that, That's dope. To me, that's dope. I don't want to go through some shit, but when I go through it, I'm fucking angry. But when I go through it, I'm thinking to myself like, hey, shit, actually, no, I know how to help you. It's crazy. You might go to a study, right? And then the next day you go out there on the street walking and stuff like that. And then the thing that you just studied, somebody asks you a question, you'd be like, I think the Most High made me study for you. Because normally I didn't even want to go up in that thing. Or maybe I did want to go up and it never went up in it. And then all of a sudden, somebody just walk up and that same thing that you just studied a day ago. And they ask you about it. So, can you? I was like, whoa. Crazy. So, things that you go through, and the Most High might have a reason. Just like Zephaniah chapter 2 said, you might be saved. Might be. possible. We have hope, right? Right. So, same thing here. Same thing with the Day of Atonement. You know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the one that you actually need to put your faith. Actually, the Lord Yahushai. He's the one that you need to be believing in, and therefore, that's going to save you. Not that particular day, not that particular item, not that particular nothing. Yeah? But Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I know what it is like to be losing your sight. I don't even want to talk about that shit. That happened one day when a movie came out. I was scared to death. I was actually really afraid. I was like, what the fuck? And then it went away. So now I know that one. And it came around the time that a movie came out. And I really wanted to see that movie too. All of a sudden I saw Woozy. I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? And then, now I know y'all right this side. That was crazy. That was really crazy. But biblical movies, I don't even want to watch it. Normally I don't watch it because the one of Noah I never watched. Never felt like watching it because I heard it was stupid. Didn't watch it. But this one I watched. I was like, hey, I wanted to. I did watch it eventually. But the most I make you go through, well, I hope it's the Lord. Could be Satan too. He's working for the Lord anyway. Anyway, the most I make you go through some things eventually. And it might be to help another. That's dope. I always like it. Let me go through it, not let me go through it first. I'm not choosing for it. I'll go through it and then I know about it. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Scriptures here. Take this one. Hold this here. Hold it. Let me hold your cross. And then you help. Anyway, so enough talking about all that there. And I didn't read out my Bible today because I had it was raining. And I held this anyway. So I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. So, oh yeah. Revelation, second Ezra 16, 15, and 16. So it says right here, read it again. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to really believe in the things that they're doing, and they're going to be justified within their own eyes and stuff like that. And to a certain degree they are. Because they're going to fight against their elites, just like how the elites of Jacob were screwing over the poor and the average. That's the same way that the Most High is going to make them to make their elites screw over their poor and their average, and everything is coming full circle. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that. The one of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Ramah Kodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom.